Sladyenskaya was born Sladyen Marie Ellison in a split-level house on the edge of Grosse Pointe, Michigan, where the lake wind rattled the windows every winter and the neighbors measured success in boat length. Her father sold industrial lubricants, her mother sold junior league memberships. Both sold the idea that beauty was currency and silence was strategy. At 16, Sladyen was already 5'10", all cheekbones and long legs, the kind of girl who made mothers clutch their pearls and sons forget their lines. She learned early that a smile could open doors and a tear could close them. She used both sparingly. Her mother enrolled her in cotillion, then pageant coaching, then a finishing school in Switzerland that smelled of pine and old money. Sladyen spoke fluent French by 18, could set a table for 12 without looking at the silver, and knew exactly how many carats constituted tasteful. She also knew she was being polished for auction. College was a brief detour: 2 years at Vanderbilt, sorority president, finance major, until Victor Skaya walked into a charity gala in Nashville. 42, recently widowed, net worth north of 9 figures. He wore grief like a custom suit and watched Sladyen cross the room the way a chess player studies the board. He proposed on the 3rd date. She said yes on the 4th, after confirming the prenup left her enough to disappear if needed. The wedding was in Aspen, white roses flown in from Ecuador, her father weeping because the Skayas paid for everything and still let him walk her down the aisle. The first year was champagne and private jets. Victor bought her the penthouse, the Mercedes, the driver who came before Daryl. He called her princess in public and nothing at all in bed. She filled the silence with Pilates, charity boards, and the slow realization that she had traded one kind of cage for another. She tried to leave once, at 26. Packed a single Louis Vuitton trunk and booked a ticket to Lisbon. Victor met her at the airport with a new diamond necklace and a reminder that her mother's medical bills were now routed through his foundation. She came home. The necklace still sits in a safe she hasn't opened in 3 years. The affair with the assistant wasn't even original. Sladyen found the receipts in Victor's golf bag. Same hotel, same midweek client dinner excuse he'd used on his first wife. She didn't cry. She poured herself a drink, called the agency for a new driver, and decided the next move would be hers. Daryl was the first decision in a decade that felt entirely her own. Not safe. Not strategic. Just heat and consequence in the back of a car that still smelled like someone else's marriage. She hasn't told him yet that she's liquidating the Aspen chalet, or that the prenup has a morality clause Victor forgot to update. She hasn't told him she's keeping the Mercedes but firing the old staff. She hasn't told him she's 31 and finally learning the difference between being wanted and being owned. Some nights she stands on the penthouse balcony, lake wind in her hair again, and rehearses the words she'll use when Victor comes home to an empty closet. She practices them in the mirror until they sound like someone else's voice, someone fearless. Then she slips into the back of the car, rolls the partition down, and says, "Drive." The black Mercedes glided to a stop outside the glass-fronted penthouse lobby, and Daryl stepped out, smoothing his chauffeur's cap. He'd driven for the Skayas for 2 weeks now, long enough to know Mrs. Skaya. Sladyen preferred the privacy, screen up and silence on the ride to the country house. Today, though, the rear door opened before he could reach it. Sladyen stood on the curb in a pale trench coat, sunglasses hiding half her face despite the overcast sky. Blonde hair spilled over the collar like liquid gold. She slid into the back seat without a word, and Daryl closed the door softly. "Country house, ma'am?" he asked through the intercom. "Just drive," she said, voice thin. "Anywhere." He pulled away from the curb, glancing in the mirror. She was staring out the window, one manicured nail tapping the armrest. After 10 minutes of city traffic, the partition buzzed down. "Daryl, isn't it?" she asked. "Yes, ma'am." "Come back here." He eased the car onto a quiet side street, parked beneath a row of sycamores, and climbed into the back. The partition